New rules and guidelines and a couple recent high-profile criminal cases on disruptive trade practices have made compliance and supervision a high priority at trading firms and clearing firms. Lisa Dunsky, derivatives attorney and former counsel at CME Group, shares her insights on what firms and traders need to consider.
There have now been a couple of indictments for spoofing under the Commodity Exchange Act. And under the Commodity Exchange Act, spoofing is defined as bidding or offering with the intent to cancel your bid or offer before it's executed. If you do that, or if you're proven to have done that, you can be charged on a criminal basis. So now that we have these criminal indictments out there, when an exchange is asking to interview a trader in a case that might involve spoofing, you have to think long and hard about whether, as an attorney, you can represent the trader and the firm, or whether that trader needs their own counsel. When you're being interviewed by an exchange, it's a private entity, it's not the government. So you're not entitled to assert your Fifth Amendment rights against self-incrimination. If you decide not to testify when an exchange is asking you questions, you can actually lose your membership, you can be banned from trading, because refusing to answer the exchange's question is actually by itself a rule violation. So, for example, the firm may want the trader to go in and give answers to the exchange's questions. The trader might decide, I don't want to do that. The point is that the trader may need to get their own counsel that will just be looking after the trader's best interests, which may or may not necessarily align with the firm's best interests. So I very much enjoy representing traders and brokers, but there are times when they sometimes forget things. So I have seen and I've heard about situations where a trader might be asked by an exchange in an investigative testimony, does your firm give you compliance training? And they promptly say no, when they actually have received compliance training. That's important for the firm, because if you're a member of the exchange, you have an obligation to diligently supervise your employees. And as part of that, the exchange expects firms to give compliance training and generally to have some type of a compliance manual. So from the firm's perspective, you need to be sure that number one, you're giving that training, and number two, you're keeping evidence of the training that you gave, whether it's a PowerPoint deck or a video or an audio tape, and you also want sign-in sheets. So if one of your people says that they didn't receive compliance training and you get the call from the exchange saying, hey, Joe Smith says you didn't give him any compliance training, you're ready to show, well, yes, actually we did. Here's the deck. Here's the sign-in sheet. Joe just forgot that we gave him compliance training. Be prepared to have people at your firm forget that they got the training. In fact, when I give compliance trainings now for my clients, the first thing I say is, when you get asked by the exchange if you got compliance training, the answer is yes, because that's what we're doing here today. On the compliance training, I think having a manual is also a very good idea. You won't see that it's required specifically in any rule if you're just a member of an exchange, but we're seeing more and more the exchanges expecting that if you're a member firm with your duty to diligently supervise, that you do have some type of a manual that's appropriate for whatever kind of trading activities go on at your specific firm. With exchange investigations of disruptive trading, it really matters that you are very proactive. You have to be giving compliance training before you get that call. When you get the call with questions, you have to be ready with your own set of questions and gather as much information as you can. And you have to have thought beforehand about whether the firm is going to be comfortable representing both the firm and the trader. And if not, you probably want to have a short list of attorneys that you can call to represent the traders.